Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. John Henry Soto here with you as always. It is 7 a.m. here in Nashville, Tennessee. It is July 21st, 2026. Hope you're all doing well out there. It has been really, really hot and blazing here in Nashville, Tennessee. Before we get started, I just wanted to actually mention we had a wonderful time last night. Every Monday, well, for the last 2 weeks anyway, every Monday, a new place opened up here called Asian Cajun. And they have some great food, and they have a great invitational pro jam session where it's a blues jam session that is invited by Sean Murphy. If you don't know who Sean Murphy is, she is an incredible singer. She's sung for Eric Clapton, Phil Collins, Joe Walsh, numerous others. Pete Seeger, I think it was one of not Pete Seeger. Pete Seeger from the Weavers. Not him, somebody else, but Bob Seger. Bob Seger. And just a lot of other people. She was with Meatloaf with the his band early on, and just an incredible performer. She sang with Little Feat. Um, anyway, she was there and she just blew me away last week. So I went back again last night and had an amazing time. Took some photos. I'm going to be posting some of those around. If you follow my content, you'll see some of the photos that I took last night. Eventually, I'll do some video because it's going to be every Monday night, and it's her sort of invitational pro jam that she does. So anyway, just wanted to shoot that out there. If you're in the Nashville area and you want something entertaining to do on a Monday night, and you want to get some good food and listen to some great music and great musicians, that's the place to be. It starts at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. All right. So today we're going to be talking about what is going on with the streaming and what is going on with all these new, I wouldn't say new, I guess. It's been happening for about 10 years that vinyl has been increasing in sales every year. Now CDs are back, cassettes are being sold again. Cassettes are being sold. Um, of course, DVDs is another part of it, but we're going to be talking about the music side of things today. And for years, streaming has encouraged us to think of music as a collection of individual songs instead of complete albums. What a mistake that was. Playlists, shuffle mode, and algorithms have changed the way we listen, making it easy to skip from one artist to another without ever experiencing the journey the artist intended. But something interesting is happening, and I don't know if y'all feel that. Vinyl records continue to grow in popularity. CDs are making a comeback, and even cassette tapes are finding new fans. More listeners are discovering that physical formats invite them to slow down and experience an album from beginning to end. So that was the whole part. That was the joy of getting a new album, was that you knew there was one song that you might have heard on the radio, or at least maybe your friend played it for you or something. And then you go there and you get yourself the record, you get the full album, you go home, you put it on the turntable, and you sit back and you listen to the 10, 12 songs maybe in a row. And some songs you mark down, some songs hit you right away. You're like, that's a great song. I love that song. And some songs you're like, okay, I'll go back and listen to it. But the album breathes, the album it gives you an opportunity to see what the creator was thinking with, what they were trying to communicate. And that's been lost, but it's coming back. And it's very interesting what's happening right now. And it's really being pushed by young people. Gen Zs are and millennials are the ones that are really getting into the records, and there's a nostalgic that they're looking for. They remember the old days. They hear us talking fondly of the old days of how we listened to music, and now everything is pushed into their face so fast. You go on Netflix and you get to binge watch any TV show. We have to wait a week before we can watch our favorite TV show. And then after that TV show was done, we couldn't go back and watch it again. We had to wait till it went into syndication and somebody else picked it up, and then you have to find out when it was. And then you start watching the show again in syndication, one per night sometimes. And that was it. And that's, that's been taken away. The same thing with the music albums. The art of album sequencing was once a crucial part of making a record. Artists carefully considered which songs would open the album, where to place the emotional high points, when to give the listener a moment to breathe, and how to leave a lasting impression with the closing track. Albums like Dark Side of the Moon, the and Abbey Road weren't just collections of songs. They were carefully crafted experiences. Each track naturally flowed into the next, telling a story of creating an emotional arc that could easily be lost when songs are heard individually on shuffle. So that was part of the greatness of those albums. You couldn't really shuffle. There's no shuffling in a record, right? There was some shuffling later on when CDs came about. That was the beginning of the downfall, right? Excuse my grogginess. I was at that club last night and I was talking to some people and music is loud. So I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. So my voice is like, hello there. Hello there. Hey, yo, hey, hey, yo, Adrian. Was Adrian? Um, I can't wait for the new movie to come out. The Rocky. It's the Sylvester Stallone story about how he got Rocky made. Oh, that's gonna be so good. I'm a huge Rocky fan. All right, let's get going here. So, as more people return to records, CDs, and cassette decks, they're rediscovering the joy of intentional listening. I see. We use that word a lot on my show and the Sunday night show. Intentional, being intentional in your life is so important. I might do a show just on that word. Putting on a record or inserting a CD is a conscious choice. Listening of skipping after 30 seconds, listeners often sit back, read the liner notes, study the album artwork, and allow the music to unfold as the artist envisioned it. It's a different relationship with music, one that values patience, attention, and appreciation over instant gratification. This is where the music listeners, music lovers that would go out, get the record, play the record, sit there with the record all day, and start trying to absorb the music and try to really understand what the writer had in mind, the production value. How are the instruments? Can you hear everything clearly? Is everything balanced well, right? Everything is mixed well. This is all part of that experience. And as a music listener who loved music, this is what you would do. And you would actually be able to buy, things to hold your records and your 45s and your 12-inch records. All that stuff would be 100% in a case, and you would carry around this big giant case with your 45s, and you would sit down, you had friends come over, let's listen to music. You put it up there and you start playing records, and it's very, very, very exciting that to see that happening again. You go to record stores now, there's record stores again popping up. You can get things online. A lot of artists now are now releasing vinyl as part of their music as well. It's a wonderful thing that's going on right now. So digital technology has given us incredible convenience, and streaming isn't going away anytime soon. But the renewed interest in physical media suggests that many people are crafting something more meaningful than endless playlists and algorithm driven recommendations. They're looking for an experience rather than just background noise. As vinyl, CDs, and cassettes continue their resurgence, perhaps they're witnessing a revival of one of music's greatest traditions, the album as a completed work of art. It's meant to be heard from the first note to the last. And now here's some numbers. This is interesting. These are some interesting statistics on what's currently happening right now. So vinyl has grown for 19 consecutive years. I said 10, so it's almost 20 years for 19 consecutive years in the United States. In 2025, vinyl sales topped 1 billion in revenue for the first time since 1983. Isn't that wonderful? That's almost 40 years. That is 40 years. That's 40. Good Lord, how old am I? With 46.8 million records sold. Holy cow. That's amazing. Vinyl now outsells CDs in the United States. How about that? In 2025, vinyl sold 46.8 million units compared to 29 million units for CDs. It's the fourth consecutive year that vinyl has led CDs in sales, in unit sales. Next here, CDs are making a surprising comeback. During the first half of 2026, US CD sales increased by 16% year over year, reaching 16.3 million units. If you exclude K-pop releases, CD sales still rose 6.7%. Like K-pop is pretty ridiculous. So, um, physical music overall is growing again. Combined sales of vinyl, CDs, and cassettes were up 7.8% in the first half of 2026, showing that listeners are once again embracing physical formats because you own it. It's yours. You know, the streaming platforms got us to believe that, and I canceled my streaming platforms. I'm trying to figure out things now. It's not easy, but you know, it's worth trying to figure it out again and making it a game of how can I get my music. I do have CDs and I have some records, not a lot. I'm buying a lot of DVDs now as well, but you own it. And somehow we got fooled into thinking that giving up everything and just going digital was the way to go. This way you have it all in one place and you can just listen to it. The quality is not as good, but hey, you got to carry it with you and you can listen to it anytime you want. And that convenience is what people fell for. I fell for anyway. Some people love it and it's great, and I did love it. Don't get me wrong, I did love it. I just right now I'm want to be more intentional on my music. I want to be able to listen to something, and I do have another. I've been using Deezer, Deezer, which is another streaming platform, and they seem to have a pretty good thing going. Very little AI garbage like Spotify. I did a whole show on that. If you haven't watched that, on what Spotify is doing, um, but it's been great. It's only been a week, so we'll see. But um, I got to find other ways. My car doesn't have a CD player, doesn't have a cassette player. It's a newer car, and it just they don't make it with those anymore. But it does have a way you can um, stream it from your phone. So if there's a way that I can do this, which I will find the way, trust me, I will find the way, and I'll be able to stream my own songs, my own music, and have it also in physical copy where I can actually have it whenever I need it and want it. Streaming still dominates, accounting for about 82% of US recorded music revenue in 2025, with 106.5 million paid subscribers accounts. They're still making a lot of money, so they don't really care about my opinion or my little show here. Yet at the same time, physical media is enjoying its strongest revival in decades, which is very exciting. So, one interesting angle here is that for over a decade, before we wrap up here, everyone said digital would completely replace physical music. Instead, we're seeing the opposite. Streaming won the convenience battle, but vinyl, CDs, and even cassettes are winning the overall battle. People don't just want access to music anymore, they want to own it, hold it, read the liner notes, display the artwork, and experience an album the way the artist intended. This is the exciting part about being an artist, man. It's like, and being a musician and loving music so much, this is what we want. We want to be able to hold the records. I remember that so fondly. I don't know why digital kind of took that away from me, and I kind of went a little bit blind because I do love technology, and I think it's important to know it, and to use it if it benefits, what you're working on. But really tragic that that experience has been taken through streaming, and it's doing well. It's doing making a lot of money. So streaming platforms don't really care about millennials and Gen Zs and even Gen Xers being upset with not being able to own their music. They don't really care because they're making their money, and that's all they care about, right? They'll have AI garbage up there. That's what they have now. It's just you're competing the legends with AI garbage, right? And that's frustrating, but they don't care because they're making their money. They're laughing all the way to the bank, and then they'll die eventually, and then they'll go to wherever they go. All right, friends. Can you tell I'm angry about this? Anyway, God bless them. God bless them and their money, and hope they enjoy it. All right, friends. I want to thank you always for joining me here this morning. I'm trying to keep these episodes under 20 minutes. Sometimes I go over if I get too excited, but I'm trying to do my best on that. Just to give you a little bit of something to think about throughout the day. I want to know what your thoughts are. Drop them in the comments here, wherever you're watching this. Send me an email, johnhenrysoto@gmail.com. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if I should cover someone. Let me know if there's an artist that I should interview that maybe you guys think are really highly of, and maybe nobody knows about them. I would love to have conversations like that. Send them over to me, and just let me know what your thoughts are and how music is in your area or film. What are you involved in? I'd love to hear it. All right, friends, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Have a wonderful day out there. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. We're all we got on this little blue marble floating through space. I will see you all tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central. And as always, peace.